I looked to another episode of That Thing 2 Overture. It is episode 111, 11D1, and it is Friday, May the 9th.
Yay. It's May the 9th. We in there. We in there yet again. It's happening. I was just telling that.
Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars happened.
Yeah.
Star Wars. I watched like one of the guys on Twitter, Chris Wolfhart, they did like their game dev pitch show. It was okay. It was fine. It's a little podcast. They were doing like what Star Wars game. They had like a competition to design a fake Star Wars game. And the winner, of course, was none of them. In fact, the real winner was a cheap collaboration with Overwatch 2. That was the winner. And I'm like, that's...
Are they going to have, like, crappy-looking cosplay costumes
Yes.
for Star Wars?
No. I mean, they haven't done that yet. But that was the fake... It's like, what game do you think the Star Wars should make? And then at the end of the podcast, they said, none of your choices were selected. The winner is cheap Overwatch cosplay.
No.
And it's like, that's how it is. That's just how it is.
Yep.
I did read the first thing Drew linked in our little Discord of Creepy and Freaky.
Yep.
I read Creepy and Freaky #1. I'm into it. I like what's happening here.
So keep in mind, the first chapter of a manga series is always longer than normal chapters.
Well, this one chapter 1 of Creepy and Freaky felt like 2. It was 2 stories.
Yeah, so that's what you gotta remember going forward, is you only get one box per chapter.
Yeah, like, and this was like concept. We're gonna show you 2 Yabi Shibais.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you go, yeah.
The unexpected mix-up is that there is also a recurring story within the boxes.
Huh.
So does chapter 1 have the ghost juice?
Yeah, Ghost Chapter 1 is the metal ball and the ghost juice.
Yeah.
For what?
So ghost juice is recurring.
Ghost juice seems like it would be recurring. So basically, what the Creepy and the Freaky is, I would describe it as Animal Crossing, but one of the Tom Nook houses sells fear. And the Animal Crossing villagers can go into the Tom Nook house and buy fear. And when they buy fear, they get a little Yamishibai story that is not about Animal Crossings. It's about humans.
Yeah, it's really weird, though, because it's, like, set in Animal Crossing, like, village, but then the stories are humans.
Yeah. And the Animal Crossings will sometimes comment about the story. And part of it is that... What do you mean, uh-oh?
I asked if y'all were still here because it went silent.
No, that just happens.
Yeah,
that just happens. Sometimes we're trying to think someone else was talking, or people are gathering their thoughts. I was just saying that it's the Animal Crossings. They don't seem like they quite understand the story. At least Frog main character. Maybe Frog main character will start to be shown fear.
Grinwee? Oh, I love Grinwee.
Yeah. So, but once again,
that box really is cute. Don't zoom in on it. It's such a cute looking box. Don't look too close.
Don't look too close.
Yeah,
Don't look. Close. Listen, the crows were circling, and it's the garden club's thing to dispose of the animals, but she buried them. You know,
yeah, it's nice. It's nicer than cremating them.
Yeah, and then sometimes you find a berserk creature hanging out. It gives you a ball and then dies. You know.
Wait.
It just...
Because the first 2 is Ghost Juice, and then a school that has 2 hauntings.
Oh no, the first. Okay.
Okay.
Because I just got finished reading this. I just got finished. It was like today. Because I have hand issues and I'm looking for other things to do to not use my hands. It's weird. It's like my right hand is now starting to hurt. It's like getting like the preliminary signs of what happened in my left hand. But I'm smart enough now to not try to go, well, maybe I should start trying to do Terry Bogard combos with my right hand. And instead, maybe it's time to lay it off until it feels better.
Yeah, you have the issue of you have overexerted your right hand, compensating for your lack of left hand.
Yeah. So that's So I've been watching and reading stuff, but no, the Creepy and Freaky looks pretty good. It's pretty good. I recommend it. I say give it a shot.
Oh, this is gonna suck for 1 second.
That's fine.
So turn your volume down, listeners.
Or turn it up. It's
Listen
like
more.
Yeah, turn it up more. So you can.
There we go.
You could. Yeah, it was nothing. Nothing worse than your old normal.
I pushed my side mirrors in whenever I parked today because it was a little snug.
Yeah.
I didn't want them to get hit.
Oh,
and I did not put the driver one back out, so I had to roll down my window.
Hell yeah. So Drew, are you current on the old G-Quux?
I am not. I'm the passive TV watcher in the house.
Okay.
So typically Kelsey puts stuff on, and then it's whatever's on is on. I will say it's her birthday month, and I got her Skyrim as a little present because it was $10.
Hell yeah.
And then Sunday, she's up to 15 hours in Skyrim.
Hell yeah. She's stealth archering it up.
I will say my drives to work are now. She calls me, and I just hear her complaining about the video game as she asks how to play the video game.
Oh hell yeah!
And I've never played Skyrim. I've not played Oblivion. I do not play those kinds of games.
Yeah.
Now, do you want the easy answer?
Sure.
The best way to play that game, Stealth Archer.
Stealth Archer.
And just it wins. It beats everything.
I don't think she'll go for that. I think she's gonna say that's boring.
Sword and Shield is quite good. Don't sleep on the Shield Bash because it stuns. Magic is cool but kind of worthless unless you go hard into destruction.
That is kind of how it felt. Every time I had to fight a group for her, if I try to do magic stuff, I'm like, the health bar is not changing. I'm blowtorching them and nothing is happening.
The blowtorch is not the one you want. You want the fireball, and then you want the talent that stuns on hit where you dual hand the fireball. That's the that's the one.
It's like a weird, because obviously it's 8th Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Where your spellcasters are supposed to be glass cannons and also have a group to protect them. And so the problem is, like, well, what if you don't have a group? What do we do then? What's the opposite of a glass cannon?
I would say a rock.
Like a Dodge Ram.
Yeah.
It's big and slow and useless.
Okay, so, like, the one you want, I'm looking at, if she wants to be a wizard, I don't know
that she necessarily does. She's just playing around with it.
Okay.
And doing stuff.
I'm just saying.
Mostly just exploring.
Okay, well, that's fine. That's, like, part of the game, too. Basically, if you just kind of... Skyrim is the kind of game where if you just kind of put your points into stuff, it'll eventually turn out okay. You're not going to bork yourself. The game's not hard. And you can always just turn down the difficulty. There's no shame in that, especially if you've played like 50 hours and your build has borked yourself. That's more of a thing in Oblivion. Oblivion will do that to you. But if she does want to go into like wizard, then you want to go find the impact skill. So the impact skill is basically in Skyrim you can put like a sword or a shield in one hand and wizard on the other hand. But in Skyrim, if you
but
put...
you can't have heavy armor, right?
What?
But you can't wear heavy armor, right?
Well, you can if you get the heavy armor skill. You can get heavy armor skill plus destruction. It's fine.
Then you can cast.
It's one of the it's one of those games where you gotta like you're built, because when you level up, you basically pick health, mana, or stamina, and that kind of determines what you're going to be doing. But Skyrim is more of a you pick your skills, and that's where you're putting your points into. So it's like you want to put your points into either sword or destruction magic or bow and arrow. Basically something that can kill, some kind of clothes, and then literally whatever, and you'll be fine. Usually it's alchemy or enchanting or smithing, so you can like do a loop to get your armor that's 1,000,000, and then you're fine.
I might tell her. I think she likes doing alchemy and cooking, so I think
alchemy's
just try to push her towards doing more alchemy.
Alchemy is because you can start getting potions that make you regen more health than you possibly have, which makes you effectively invincible. That's kind of like a Skyrim sort of deal, where you're like, oh, I'm cooking this health. I'm just gonna health potion my way through whatever, and that's a thing. I only say this as someone who knows like a bit of Skyrim. I have not played Skyrim since, I don't know. It was like it came out. It's been a while.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
Oh, when did Skyrim come out? Please say it was. Please say it was.
No.
Okay, it was 2011.
While you're looking, it's
2011. It's even worse.
So yeah, so I played it in like 2012. I think I played it like the year after it came out.
And then you very much played it, beat it once, and never touched it again?
Yeah, because, well, I did. That was one of those games where I did all of the guilds on my character. Like, I did the Wizard Guild, I did the Fighter Guild, the Thief Guild, the Main Quest, and the Dark Brotherhood. And I felt after doing all that, I was done. I didn't need to play it anymore.
That's fair. That is fair.
There's some cool stuff in that game. There's some cool...
I will say, when I said I had Skyrim for her to play, her first response is, I don't want to play this. It's like 12-year-old boys talking about, did you play Skyrim this weekend? It's like burned in her brain and has left a distaste for even the premise.
Hell yeah. Play Minecraft.
And now, like I said, we can see where it has developed.
But yeah, there's basically, yeah. But if you want to do that, if you want to be wizard, you got to go into impact, and then you can just do whatever, because that's the spell that like stuns on hit, and once you stun lock an enemy in that game, it's over. And you could do that either if you're in the stealth with the bow and arrow, and then you shoot them, and it does sneak attack modifiers, and that kills it, or you do your sword and shield. Don't pick X or whatever; those aren't good. You want sword. And then you just shield.
Why are they not the same?
Because they have different like properties. There's like.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I didn't realize how D&D it was. I didn't think it'd be like, oh, this is slashing versus piercing versus bludgeoning. That's it. And the perks do different stuff. So like the sword perks are the best ones, which is why you wanna get those. Okay.
Let me see what you got here.
So dumb. So what's happened on G-Quux?
Okay, so basically, we're having some. This is I don't know. Do you intend to watch it? Or are you okay with just like some minor spoilers and thoughts?
I thought it
with spoilers because it was fine watching the first 2 episodes knowing what the spoilers were.
Okay, so my grand thesis on G-Quux is I think we are having a Final Fantasy remake situation where just because that Char got the Gundam early and did stuff does not mean that events that happened in Gundam are still going to happen. Because we're getting events that happened in Gundam happening but in the G-Quux.
Yeah, so yeah. It's like a Homestuck.
It is
certain stuff is like destined to happen.
It is very kind of
home. Changes how it happens.
So the last episode, episode 5, was about the Black Tri-Stars, aka the 3 Doms. So there's this fight. It's a particularly, like Rick Doms, not sexual Doms, although there is a sexual element to the MAV system, which is like the G-Quux system of your partner, your battle buddy, your MAV. You're just like in Top Gun, where your fighter pilot that you're gonna play shirtless beach volleyball. Even if you're married, you're gonna go on the gaycation with your MAV. That's just how it's gonna happen.
There's an intimacy there.
Yes. So, in original Gundam, there's these 3 Rick Dom pilots, and they have a fight where they do the jet stream maneuver, and Amuro figures it out by like jumping on one of their heads, and then he just kills them all. And in this one of the 3 kind of just quit mobile suits, and he's doing his thing, and the other 2 guys are driving a truck and doing the underground battle, and then they get killed by the G-Quux Gundam. And you're kind of like, oh, these guys are... It felt like they were destined to die. That's what I'm trying to get at. They did not... Amuro Ray did not kill these 3 people in the 1-year war, but they were still killed by the Gundam, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Always destined to die.
The next episode is like the plan to assassinate Cassilia. In Mobile Suit Gundam terms, this is the lady in Zeon with the mask that Char shoots the missile through her ship and blows her up. So it's one of the zombies, and they're like, I'm gonna kill her, and that's like at the next episode. We also had the previous episode where a lady was just like a mother, and she was living her life, but she saw Red Gundam showing up in the clan battle, so she decided to come out of retirement to kill it. And
So like years ago, Char killed her partner in the mobile suit, and then she's like, okay, well, I'll just get a husband.
Well, because the war ended. Basically, the war ended, and Char vanished in like the green. I forget what it's called. The new type dimension. What's it? They have like a term for it. Yeah, he actually goes to the Speed Force. They call it the law. They call it the la sound. Did you catch that, Nolan?
Yeah.
Where they were saying whenever you activate into the Speed Force, the new type zone, they're like, yo, I hear like the la sound. And I'm like, I know what that is. Once again, this show is very much, it keeps going, like every episode is like, no, but really, you should have watched Gundam. You really should have at least watched those compilation videos to refresh yourself before watching this show. I know you don't think you need it, but you probably do. You do need it. You really need it.
I don't think so. I think they've built this too much as like a starter series. Like, I feel like every Gundam series now, they're trying to really make it so, oh, you don't need to know anything. You can just dive in and watch Gundam. We'll see how it goes as I continue to watch it without watching Gundam.
It feels as it goes on, the more I'm looking at it, and I guess the reference is hitting hard, or if you're watching episode 5, you're like, I don't get who these 2 truck driver guys are who drive the Rickdoms. But I'm like, I remember the Black Tri-Stars. I remember that fight. I know who those guys are. It's wild. The third one's he just stopped doing it. Also, the Rick
Like,
Dawn.
I'm gonna be a mayor. Oh, sorry, yeah, no. The third guy's like, yeah, I'm just gonna be a mayor and get caught doing like, shady shit and use.
Yeah, he's doing like
using government money for my own affairs.
Yeah, he's like yeah. So the third pilot became like a mayor, and he's having like scandal.
Love that even in the future, we can just have corrupt mayors.
Oh, Xeon is super corrupt. That's
it's never going to change.
But the cool part, so the Rick Dawn famously has kind of like hover skate shoes. I don't know if you've.
Yep.
It's like my favorite mobile suit.
It's cool. It's the Xeon workhorse. It starts strong, ends strong, and the one they put in G-Quux, where it has hover shoes and like a backpack thruster, but in G-Quux the backpack thruster is an additional foot, so it can have like 3 legs for both like a rocket thrust or increased mobility for hover scooting. It's cool.
It's so silly, and I love it.
It's so cool in that, look at this action figure. And I looked at it and I'm like, yo, that is an action figure. It's cool though. It has 3 legs. It makes so much sense. Also, the gem is relabeled as the Gelgoog. So the gem, aka the mass-produced Gundam, due to Xeon having it, they just call it the Gelgoog. And the Gelgoog was like the Zaku 4.
It was the Zaku with the shield and the Darth Maul lightsaber.
Yeah, it has the Darth Maul lightsaber. It's like the advanced Zaku. Although you could also consider the Goof an advanced Zaku. I don't know how you go with that one.
I know. I feel like the comp is more the. Okay, let's stop because we're going to get into something.
No, this is dumb. Yeah, okay.
No one wants to hear.
Okay. So I thought the Goof was like the premium advanced Zaku, whereas the Gelgoog would just be like the still mass-produced advanced.
I'll
Zaku,
buy that.
like...
Yeah.
I will buy that. I will.
I feel like it's more right.
I will buy that. I don't know if it's 100% wrong. Also, because the gem is called the Gelgoog, do you think that the actual G-Quux is actually the Zeong? I'm just that's my theory I'm throwing out here. Is that thing? It might be the Queen Martha. It might be one of those because it's not Big Zam because we've seen Big Zam.
Yeah.
But
there's some Big Zams out there. There's some Big Zam.
Yeah, Big Zam is to perfection. It couldn't be changed. That's one of my theories, is that the G-Quux is actually called the Zeong.
Oh no, it's the Psycho Gundam.
It actually might be the Psycho Gundam. Because it has a Psycho drive inside of it. So like, I don't know. I don't know. It's not big enough for a Psycho Gundam, but.
I agree. But... Ooh. You could do Stardust Memory where it docks into a larger mobile suit.
It has that vibe. It has that vibe. There's like a lot of contact points on that thing. It could do it. It could have like a mobile armor. They did that with like Seed, where one of the Seed Gundams got inside, was like I don't know what it's called, the underwater Zeon. What's the one?
Oh.
The one that that was driving around in Jaburo. I don't remember it. I'll remember it later.
I know what you're talking about. I know their names.
Yeah, you know what it looks like. It has the claw hands. It's the one with the underwater with the claw hands. And one of the Seed Gundams had like a mobile armor where it did that.
Yeah.
And I could see the G-Quux doing something like that, but I think it's going to be the Zeong. That's my prediction.
I also like in this future, I guess. So the next episode is.
Yeah.
Killia is going to get assassinated.
Or the attempt on it. We don't know if the attempt goes out, but they're going to try to kill her. Proving that.
All I'm thinking about is like, are we going to see Midnight Fenrir, her like special squad, show up?
Probably.
Because I'd be really excited. I would be really excited to see them again.
Is
Are there any balls in this one? Have we seen any?
we have not seen Ball yet.
So,
Or did we? I
here's
think
another
did we see
fact.
Ball in a flashback?
No, yeah, in a flashback. So, Ball also disappears after the 1 year war. Because they're like, yeah, these things suck ass. Never using them again.
It's
So you don't really,
Yeah,
you never see him in like Zeta or Double Zeta afterwards.
we're-
Yeah, because right, like the ball is like the equivalent of plows to swords. It's like this is not a combat mech.
Yeah,
this
they
is
just-
a pure desperate.
they just strap
This
the
is
gun
way
to
to
it.
clean up.
It's the implication is that to pay for their war debts, Xeon is just selling all the old Zakus to civilian use. So I imagine what would have been a Ball is just like a Zaku 1 or 2. They're like, here you go.
Yeah.
That's why they're having like underground battle blood sport with like Zaku's, because they don't care. Like, let them do it.
They're cheap and easy to get.
It's the same as when they take our old APC carriers and they give it to some town back in the mountains that has like a county of 40 people and they have like tactical army surplus gear.
Okay, so let me ask y'all if you could make the same jump that my brain did. So saying they're cheap and easy to get, naturally, then I'm like, oh, so the underground fighting ring is actually more like underground street racing in Gundam.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so what's that mean we need a movie series of?
Yes. Yes, Dominique Toretto
Yeah.
will show up.
Dominique Toretto?
Yeah.
I
Oh!
said no.
Yeah, the Rick Dom. Dominique.
If your Gundam doesn't handle it, get the NOS speed. Let me look under the hood.
Let me look under the hood. This is my custom Zaku. I painted it black. Makes it go even faster.
It's in stripes.
That's the Dom at the end of the movie. That's the cursed charger.
Yeah. Oh, I could see it. I could see it. Hideki Anno, he could pull off something truly cinema. He could do some real big cinema if he feels like it.
So, in my mind, I'm like, it would be really funny if he had a Zaku or like a Gundam. But Dominic Toretto would just remove the Zaku head and just spark out of it.
Yeah.
So it would just look like Megas XLR.
Yeah, it would look like a Megas.
Yep, that's it exactly.
Because
The
it's
Dom with a thick car for a head.
yeah, that's what it would be. I did listen to the death of the Bombcast. I listened to that full episode. Did either of you guys listen to it? Because Giant Bomb is dead.
No.
I started to listen to it, and then I, like, 30 minutes in, I was like, okay, and then I'm like, oh my god, I still have an hour and a half to go with this. I'm not enjoying this that much.
Well, because like the first bit of it is what you would expect a whole thing, and then you listen to it, and it's just like a regular podcast. It's just it was normal.
Yep.
I felt that.
I will say, listen to the Jeff Gerstmann show this week, because that starts with him just being like, okay, let's talk about it.
I also recommend where Jeff guested on the VGB's podcast.
Yes, because he's with also one of the Giant Bomb guys.
Yeah, that one was good because they start dishing. That's the one where Jeff Gerstmann talks about, where he complains about how he said when he was at the CBS and his podcast was getting so he wanted to have ads on the podcast because it was its most popular thing. And the ad executive said, no, in fact, how about you make the podcast shorter because it's taking up too much download bandwidth because it's too popular.
Oh. Yep. He talks about this week, he says that, and then he's like, eventually we had a manager there who actually started fighting for stuff where it's like, why is this team paying into things like PR when PR will not do anything for them? And like, slowly got to like take those charges away, so then like Giant Bomb wasn't like in the red constantly. And then Jeff gets married, goes on a honeymoon, and comes back, and they have let that guy go.
Oh, I haven't. I need to listen to the Jeff Gershman one.
Yeah.
And then I'm curious to hear Nextlander this week.
Yeah, they're gonna dish some stuff. Also, that's just killing Polygon completely. Like, I never liked Polygon, but I understand the idea of you had number 2 video game and now you just killed it.
Polygon is okay, but just for the news tab. Like that's how I treat most of those sites. Is like the news tab.
Then, no, was the guy that read all the Halo books? That video. I'm like, yeah, good job, Polygon.
No, that's okay.
Like,
that's
why did you do this?
Yeah.
But
the Cole Protocol.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything besides that I've watched from Polygon in years. The news tab, I think, would be only useful stuff for it.
Mentally, I get Polygon and Waypoint mixed up in my head.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
I don't even think I know what Waypoint is.
That's where Austin
that
Walker. Yeah, that was like Vice became Waypoint, and that's where like Austin Walker and his crew hang out. And to me, I was like, oh yeah, that's like Polygon.
Yeah, the other thing to me about Polygon is like Aftermath exists now.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like Polygon is already covered.
Yeah. Oh, it's gotten it's everything's split up, and now they're on their own little chunks.
Yeah.
So instead of going to the one video game website, you got to go to chunks, and that's just because there's so many video games that you need it.
But even then, they all cover the same stuff.
No. Because we're not in the 360 era where there was or even the olden days where it was this month's releases and everyone would talk about it, and then you'd have maybe one game and then you'd be like, well, that one looks good, maybe I should buy it. It was the new games would come out, you'd wait for all the reviews and the discussions to come out, and then the next month or so, whenever you had money, you'd either buy, rent, or acquire legally that game that they all were talking about.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was looking back. Yeah, sorry, the one I'm talking about, the Halo video, that was 4 years ago. Alright, yeah, it's definitely been a bit.
Yeah. I would not have played Saints Row the Third had I not heard Giant Bomb gush about Saints Row the Third. And then I played Saints Row the Third, and that game's really good. That game's really good. Almost made my top 10 video games.
There's such an oversaturation. I mean, it is a great game. But yeah, you're right. There's like an oversaturation.
Yeah.
There's too many.
Well, it's just like right now, there are a minimal. I was just thinking about it because right now I want to play Expedition 33, but my dad has work and he wants to play Expedition 33. And we try to play games at the same time to either just, usually he plays in the morning and then I'll play in the evening, that kind of deal.
Oh.
That's a JRPG.
Yes. It's the JRPG from France, the FRPG.
Yeah, it's a WRPG.
Or the le, J. It's the JRPG.
The JRPG.
JRPG. It's that one. It's apparently really good. I want to play it. I also want to play like the tower defense game by the Danganronpa guy, because I like Danganronpa. I still have not played Spider-Man 2. That's going to be my elusive white whale.
I forgot. I literally forgot that existed.
I want to play it. I like Spider-Man. It's probably a really good game.
I don't know, like, the first one too, they just look super bland to me.
I really liked the first Spider-Man game. It was
pretty good combat.
It was fun.
Like, I think my problem is I look at that game and it looks like that, and it's competing against Into the Spider-Verse. and how that game
Oh
looked.
well,
And so I'm just like, did you spend so much to make it look worse than Into the Spider-Verse?
well, that's I mean, that was the fault. Yeah, I'm just saying. Also, they redesigned the Peter Parker and the PlayStation Spider-Man to make him look like, oh, I forgot his name, MCU Peter Parker.
What?
Yeah, Tom Holland.
Holland?
And it does not work. I liked the older, because the old design made Peter Parker a little bit more like ugly, if that makes sense. But it made him more like,
Yeah, I know, he's like an average guy.
well, because he's supposed to be like middle-aged. This is like middle-aged Spider-Man. We're not going on babies. I'm out of high school Spider-Man. Which is Tom Holland. This was Mary Jane and me are starting to have that time in our life where maybe we should settle down.
This is 10 years
Maybe we
of
need to have a
Peter
talk.
Parker.
Yeah, this is closer to in Spider-Verse sweatpants Peter Parker. He's that.
Yeah.
He's like that, and he looked more like that, and it was appropriate. Also, PlayStation Spider-Man or Spider-Man PS4, I'll admit at the end made me tear up a bit. It got me. It pulled emotional things and it got me. Like it got real emotional at the end of that, and I was like, oh no.
And I mean, I'm thinking, like, can we talk about that? It's been
Yeah, okay,
like,
you're correct.
yeah.
We are so basically Peter Parker.
it's a PS4.
I'll talk about it. Peter Parker's working with Doc Ock to try to get actual limb replacement surgery, like actual prosthetics, like what the octopus arms are supposed to be. Then Doc Ock kind of goes on a rampage, and Peter has to fight him. But Peter finds out, Doc Ock learns about Peter's identity. And then there's like this conflict of will he like rat him out or will he keep it secret? And Peter's like fighting him, but he's also trying to tell him that like you were an inspiration, you were my mentor, like the father I never had, that kind of deal. It's really,
Aww.
it was sad because you see Spider-Man has to fight. He's fighting him real hard, and he's the entire time he's yelling like, "Why? Why did you do this? You were the best person I ever knew." And then you're like, "Oh." Also, Aunt May dies in that one, and it's really sad
because Peter has the choice to like take the cure to synthesize it for more people, or give it to Aunt May, who's like on her deathbed.
Yeah,
and he makes the right choice despite
Spider-Man.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, Peter. Oh, the suffering, the Spider-Man suffering in that game is very good.
Fantastic.
I didn't play the Miles Morales game.
Miles,
Jeff
it's
Gerstmann said one of those games.
what he said.
I would imagine that the
did he?
Miles Morales game is like shorter, but that probably helps it because that games can be a little long.
Yep. It's just get in, get out.
It's like, yo, you want to play a
Dude,
20-hour
Spider-Man
Spider-Man instead of a 50-hour Spider-Man? It's like one villain instead of 4.
Yeah, the evil guy that's like, let's just put this experimental energy that may explode in the middle of Harlem.
Yeah.
Because,
And you're just like, oh.
hey, we're giving them free energy. It was like, yeah, but there's safety risks involved. And so do you know what you as Spider-Man do? You go in there, and you blow up all those buildings.
Hell yeah. Well, you gotta...
You're like ruining at least 2 blocks. Because you're like, well, we gotta make sure that this doesn't happen. Like, Spider-Man, stop blowing up city blocks, please.
Well,
Your point's understood.
Sometimes that happens, and sometimes, Miles isn't good. He's still learning how to be Spider-Man. Sometimes you get that collateral.
It's hard to be Spider-Man.
It's very difficult to be Spider-Man. That's the moral of Spider-Man, all of them. every
Spider-Man's all
single
about stuff.
every Spider-Man it sucks hard being Spider-Man. It sucks super hard.
It's awful. It's like sometimes it's fun, but then other times it's like depressingly frustrating.
As has been described, it is winning the Super Bowl does not outweigh the loss of losing the Super Bowl. And I would say the best time as Spider-Man does not outweigh the worst times of Spider-Man. But that's part of the charm.
Yeah.
What is Neil Breen's new movie? I didn't see it. Is it more about Cade?
No. So he's just starting out. He just said, "Hey, I'm in production.
Okay.
I got the money. A movie's getting made, and all I can think of is, please stop now. You're good. I don't want any more."
No, I think we need Neil Breen now. I want to see Neil Breen's response to current era Trump administration. I want to see Cade and Kale deal with deportations with the tact and deafness that
I would
only
like
Neil.
this. Listen. No. 100%. I would like that. But like 80% of the script's going to be Chat GPT. And he's going to have some weird dialogue.
100%. What we're saying here is I want the Israeli-Palestinian conflict concise and Ted only with the deft hand and smooth intelligence of Neil Breen. I think he's the only one that can adequately describe that conflict.
It's intelligence. In fact, the brain has no wrinkles. It's the smoothness. It's a perfect plane.
It's
There's
a
no
perfect
friction.
smoothness. You're just gonna see it.
Oh,
That's Neil.
he's getting made, so it's going to be ready and like, it's going to be at all the festivals.
Well, you know, like with Trump trying to tariff movies, then we need to support our local Neil Breens because that's going to be tariff free. What if
Neil Breen's movies actually in theaters?
it might actually be in theaters due to tariff concerns? They might go, well, we need something to fill this theater, and Neil Breen's like, would you like to buy Twisted Pair 3 for $4? And they go, ugh.
But the other movie's $80 to go see.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, okay,
I guess I'm gonna watch Neil Breen in theaters because it's the only thing there. Think about it.
Listen, just get all the dog shit directors in. You know, we might see a renaissance of new bad directors too. I have that feeling.
Yeah, well, it's everything. Everything you have the build up of the studio, and then its collapse, and then the reformation. I feel like
No, I will say something interesting on that front is Sinners is set to default to ownership by the director in 25 years, and studio executives are not happy.
hell
Yes,
yeah,
that is great.
Nah,
That's fantastic.
Take it.
And so, like, it's been
That is on my list to watch as soon as I can.
Same. I wanted to see it in theaters, but it just did not play out. But yeah, and it was so successful that it's like, oh man, I think more directors are going to be able to start making the like argument and the case of like, nah, I want rights to what I make.
I don't know. The last movie I watched last weekend, my dad and me's our Mission Impossible rewatch was Mission Impossible 6. And I gotta say, that movie has reaffirmed my belief that you should not make a bid. Every movie, if your movie's gonna cost a couple $100 million, it needs to be as good as Mission Impossible 6.
Yeah.
That movie is 2.5 hours long, and it just keeps going. You're just like scene after scene, and they're all good.
But Kevin, if I don't want to do that, I have to shoot on location and have union contractors.
Yes. Which is why I'm saying.
Well, we'll just put everyone on the green screen. The green screen, it's not really cheaper, but there's no unions.
There's no union. No, it's more. It is cheaper, and they won't know. They won't know the slop. Tom Cruise is a crazy man, but at least he got on the side of that airplane. He was wired in it, but he did it, and let me tell you, it really makes a difference. It makes a difference when you know he hurt his leg when he did that jump on the roof. And you can see him kind of like limp a little after he gets up, and you're like, oh, he did it.
Yeah. I mean, it's even the
Tom
difference
Cruise.
in, like...
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, talk about the stuff. No, talk about the stuff, please. I love it.
I was going to say, it's even the difference in, like, Davy Jones is a CG character, but they were shooting actually on a boat with the guy they motion captured as Davy Jones also on the boat in the scene.
It's the thing about movies where I feel it's just the fake set looks more real because it is.
Yeah. People can actually interact with real shit even if it's like cheaply made trinkets. It's still real.
I always think about that, the Ian McKellen working in, like, the original Hobbit films versus working to the Hobbit movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he's just on a lot and he's like, I hate this so much. It's horrible.
Well, because
I'm yelling at a tennis ball on a stick, and I can't do this.
Yeah, it's not the tennis ball can't react to you. It's a tennis ball on a stick.
You can't build like a natural scene just talking to somebody who's done their lines a week ago.
Yeah. And then you have to do all the reshoots because it's like, oh, hey, turns out when we did the CG, you're looking like 6 inches too low. You're not making eye contact, so we need to reshoot this.
As the most recent CG fest that I enjoyed, Sonic the Hedgehog, the third movie, you can tell because whenever there are humans on screen, I think that movie's quality dips immensely. And then when Sonic it's just Sonic and Shadow and Tails doing fights and stuff, you're like, yeah, the movie's good again.
Okay, when it's CGI characters talking to CGI characters, good. When it's humans talking to humans, okay. But if it's CGI talking to humans, disgusting. I don't want any part.
I am neutral on Jim Carrey. I think it's an interesting idea for Robotnik, but I'm kind of not into it. I don't.
It's too silly, but whatever. It's
fine. It's a little too silly. Or it's
the
not.
kids clap at the Grinch. That's all I know.
Well, yeah, it's not quite the Eggman that I'm into, but I mean that's kind of asking a lot for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. I feel like
they can't put Sonic Underground Robotnik into a movie.
It feels more like Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog Robotnik, where he's kind of silly.
Hey, goofy.
Yeah. He feels way more like that than like actual Sonic, where he's more not a threat, but he'll say something silly to like one of his robots, but that's kind of it.
It really bothers me that he's not fat.
He becomes fat in the third movie.
He's not Robotnik fat.
No, he's not Robotnik. He's not
too little, too late.
Yeah.
He is supposed to be an Eggman. He is supposed to be egg-shaped.
Yeah.
He is supposed to be...
He's supposed to be representative of the fat industrialist, because he's literally the fat cat industrialist who's taking animals and turning them into robots.
And turning forests into casinos?
Yeah, usually casinos, sometimes chemical plants.
Yeah.
He's building...
When are they putting Scratch and Grounder in these movies?
I don't know, that'd be sick.
Never, because they have the other guy that's Eggman's butler.
Oh, they have.
I can't remember his name.
I mean, they killed Eggman in Sonic 3. He's dead. But as we all know, no one's ever really gone.
No one's ever really gone.
No one's ever really gone. He'd come back. He'd come back as
Robo
Robotnik.
recently that is a lot of practical, but also isn't a good movie. And that's Beetlejuice.
Oh, I didn't even bother. Is it
Yeah,
worth bothering?
Nikki was like, let's watch. Yeah, Nikki was Nikki's birthday, so she was like, let's watch this. I'm like, okay.
No, that's as a partner. I would imagine as a partner film that you're watching due to your love and
I
respect.
don't think it's good then either.
Oh, see, okay, no, because I would say to me, I'll be like, no, that I would take that. I would take that hit. I'm like, no, we're taking this. I'll watch Beetlejuice in that situation.
No, yeah, I mean it's just a hit.
Don't worry, they've confirmed they're making the third one.
No, I would not watch the third one.
So I know it's not a good movie because in the middle, Nikki kind of just got on her phone and started ignoring it. I'm like,
oh no. Is that a Sony movie? Is Beetlejuice a Sony movie?
No,
It feels like it. Cause Sony movies got that feeling.
So it's a Tim Burton. Yeah, it's a Tim Burton. So maybe.
All right, who made this thing?
Who made what?
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, Tim Burton directed it.
But who produced it?
My guess is who owns the rights
Or who
to
distributed it? Like it's a Warner Brothers. It's Warner Brothers. Okay.
Yeah, duh. He was in Multiverses. Remember?
Yeah.
You know what, Drew? No.
He was in the back cheering for the Toon Squad in Space Jam 2.
Sadly, as the person who probably played the most Multiverses, no, I do not remember. And that says everything you want to know about Multiverses and why that thing died.
Sure does.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So tell me more about Beetlejuice. What's the deal?
It's not a good movie, but you know what? There's like no. Everything's pretty practical. It looks good, and the atmosphere feels great. It just, I don't care about the story. I don't care about Beetlejuice.
Watch it on mute is what I'm hearing.
Wasn't Corpse Bride in that movie?
The Beetlejuice dance or singing number. Then I'm like, okay, this is fun again because I assume Beetlejuice's powers are just whatever he wants to do. He's a genie.
Yeah, he can just do whatever.
I like watching that, but story sucks. I want to be honest. Don't watch it.
Okay.
I think Tim Burton
and Michael what's his name?
Michael Crichton of Jurassic Park.
The
author of Jurassic Park. He shows up. Okay.
Yes, Michael Keaton made Jurassic Park. Michael Keaton does seem like he loves doing this, so I'm like, hey, let him keep being Beetlejuice if people are going to pay for it. Go on. But
there's a third Beetlejuice is coming.
He's got a lot of enthusiasm playing Beetlejuice. I kind of feel that.
Well, I mean, I imagine the movie would completely not work if you didn't have Beetlejuice there.
It would fall apart.
It would.
I feel like Mad Max Fury Roads disproves that.
Okay, no, but that's still like Furiosa and stuff. They're still like the character. Like
it's still the atmosphere in the world.
Like at some point, there was a sentiment of like, oh, you can't really do Mad Max without Mel Gibson, and turns out you can. So I think you can do a Beetlejuice without Michael Keaton.
Here's my answer to that. If because you want to explore more of the Mad Max world, do you really want to explore more of the undead world of Beetlejuice?
I would say if Tim Burton was not directing it. See, the thing is, like, if George Miller or whatever who made all the Mad Maxes is like, I'm gonna do this again, and I can still do this, and you're like, okay, George Miller, you could do this. See, I was gonna say something where I feel
to prove Kevin's point, I say look at the Beetlejuice animated series, and yes, I did want to explore more of that world, and yes, Tim Burton did not correct that.
I think Tim Burton is the proof. Okay, you go, because I have a Tim Burton theorem.
This is real quick. In the second movie, you get to spend a lot more time in the dead universe, and it all sucks. So yeah, no Tim Burton.
I feel Tim Burton is what happens when someone, because I believe I have a goth theorem where you can only be goth for a certain amount of time before it fades away naturally. And if you try to hold on to it, you can't. And I think Tim Burton had the year where he was goth, but it faded from him. And he's been trying to grasp at it, and it's never not worked. And that's why everything after a point, I can't be exactly sure the point of Tim Burton, where it all doesn't work because he's not there anymore. He's not in that zone. He either got too wealthy or too.
I think you got it the other way around, Kevin. Because I think the new generations of goth, they always love whatever his new thing is.
Do they?
They love the Sweeney Todd. And to me, I'm like, okay, Tim Burton.
But Sweeney Todd was like a musical.
Doesn't matter.
I'm saying, but are the new goths loving his Alice in Wonderland and the Willy Wonka? Are they like craving that? That's what I'm talking like.
I mean, I don't think they're as big as his '90s works, but like, Disney fatigue is real in Jim. So I can't dump that all on Tim Burton.
No, well,
I want to know how these dolls would feel if I showed them in Woods. Would they love it or would they hate it?
I don't. Ed Wood is not a goth movie, or is it?
It is a Tim Burton movie.
It is a Tim Burton movie. It's cool. I think Ed Wood's a great little film, but that's.
What? I don't know what Ed Wood is.
Ed Wood is Tim Burton's like faux documentary about the guy who made Plan 9 from outer space. Or is that is that the movie?
No, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, I think the issue is he doesn't always do goth stuff, because they also did Big Fish. He also did Planet of the Apes. He doesn't always do goth.
But I'm just talking about the goths. That's what I'm talking about. Beetlejuice. 'Cause that's that's what I'm thinking. The zone.
I mean, I guess. Oh, is Batman goth?
Batman is goth. His Batmans are goth.
Yeah.
That's a goth
They're
film.
pretty goth.
It's not the Crow. The Crow is the most goth.
Yeah.
The Crow is like the apex of goth film. I don't care.
His Batmans are gothic.
Yes.
The Crow is just goth.
No, the Crow is the idealized goth.
Yeah.
You can't fight it.
All right. I gotta go.
All right.
Later days.
Bye. Thanks for yapping.
Next week we'll talk about Mars Attack.
Yeah, we'll talk about Mars Attacks.